EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present this first step on the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From La Quinta, California and PGA West, it's the opening round of the first tournament of the new year, the American Express. Well, it's been a long off-season. Everyone here looking to get their new year off on the right foot. What better place to do it than right here in La Quinta as we see what's going on here in round one. We've currently got a tie at the top at 5 under par. Time to get out to the action on the course as we pick things up on the tee at the par 4 14th. Frank, this is our golfer's first ever tournament as a professional on the PGA Tour. Now, you played a number of years on the European Tour before coming stateside, but take me back. What do you remember about your professional debut?
It's huge, Rich. I can remember it like yesterday. I was 19, and just how nervous you get. I was lucky enough that I had some friends that were professional golfers, and they took me aside, and they said, listen, you got 2 arms, you got 2 legs. You're just like everybody else in the field. Don't give in to them. But the nerves, too, you know, you feel like you're in somebody else's body, but they said the other bit of advice I got, nerves mean you care. So don't ever want to play without them. So great advice, too. And this is a moment that they will always remember, your debut on the PGA Tour.
"21-foot putt set to go.
Good effort, but that'll run 2-3 feet past the hole. Safely in. It's a bogey here at 14. And he'll drop back now to 1 under par. You know, Frank, this is a great setting for kicking off the new season. This Palm Springs area weather is almost ideal every single year. It's kind of like golf in a dome. So what's the secret to being successful on desert courses like this? Because we've seen some really low scores through the years.
Rich, you nailed it. Dome-like conditions means everybody's going to go low. You're not really worrying about cross breezes. Plus, add that in that it's a relatively flat track. That means there's no elevation changes really to consider. Green's also relatively flat, so get that ball on the putting surface. Greens aren't overly quick, but really anything inside 20 feet, you're going to have a good look at it. And don't keep looking at that leaderboard, because if you think you're going to make birdies, everybody else is doing the same thing. Pedal to the metal.
And this ball not quite going to be a GIR. It'll come to rest on the fringe. In concentration there. That'll cost him. Okay, a bogey here at the 15th. And he's going to fall out of red figures, back down to even par. We now come to the 600-yard par 5 16th. Avoid the bunker on the left side of the fairway off the tee. And beware of the massive green side bunker on your approach. Once in there, it's a chore to get out. And that will be more than adequate. It's safely into the fairway. And just a good solid shot right there with that 3-wood, Frank.
That's an aggressive layup, really, trying to force that 3-wood down and get it as close as possible to the green. That's 2 good shots if you can't reach the par 5.
Okay, that'll be a par here at 16, and he'll stay at level par. Arriving now at Alcatraz, the famous 17th hole at PGA West. Island green, reminiscent of Sawgrass, 168-yard par 3. It is most definitely a knee knocker. Well, fortunately that is dry, but it is short of the green. Now chipping up to the putting surface for this, his second shot. Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for par here at 17, and he'll stay at even par. Finishing up here at PGA West with a 439-yard par 4 18th. Yet again, we're trying to avoid the water. That runs down the left side of the fairway. If you keep it down the right side, well, then you'll have a chance to maybe get out of here. Finish up the round with a birdie 3. That is a great number on this finishing hole. Down on the course, let's check in with Nota Begay III.
157 yards left. Pin is in the left back portion of the green.
A touch long, a touch left. But still, how good can you putt?
14 feet to the hole.
Yeah, that's a good putt there. It's a birdie at 18. And that's going to be a 1-under opening round of 71. Our featured golfer here today had some moments, but maybe not the round one you're looking for, Frank. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From sunny La Quinta, California, live second-round coverage of the opening tournament on the tour schedule, the American Express. What a great time of year to be here in La Quinta. If you come in July, expect temperatures north of 110 degrees. But now, here in January, this is perfect as we check our Day 2 leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 6 under par. Let's get out to the play as we pick things up at the par 4 7. So this, the second round of the American Express. Our featured golfer we're following here really turned some heads in that first ever round on the PGA Tour yesterday. What'd you see?
I just saw a complete player, Rich. I know the golf course yields itself to low scores, but take that aside. When you drive the ball well, hit iron shots like that, knock a few putts in, you're going to turn a few heads. And every season, as you know, Rich, I'm always looking for a new name. Might have just found one.
So 1 round in the books for our featured golfer as a professional, and it was subpar. Nota Begay III was out on the grounds following the action. And Nota, what were your takeaways from what looked to be a really solid first round?
Well, subpar meaning in the red versus below average, and I really liked what I saw. There was some nerves early in the round, but this player was able to settle down, get into their game, start to execute at a high level, and really came out with a very nice start.
Up next, the 559-yard par 5/8, where we get a little break from the water found on the previous 3 holes, but there's plenty of sand to make up for it. Good driving hole. Let it rip.
Impressive to get the power on that second shot into the par 5 and comfortably get it up here by the green. I know it's in that greenside bunker, but that is very doable.
All right, not exactly what you're hoping for, but safely on the putting surface with birdie still in play. Yes, getting hot here just before the turn. That's birdies now at 7 and 8. And he's going to get this to 3 under par. Finishing up on the front side here at PGA West with a 452-yard par 4 ninth. Water down the right, so it is best to favor the left side off the tee. The PGA Tour season kicking off here at PGA West in La Quinta, California. And we're back at it next week. Frank will make the 2-hour drive down to La Jolla and Torrey Pines outside of San Diego for the Farmers Insurance Open. Just such a good time of year, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. It's just stunning. I mean, rain, hail, or shine, this is just a beautiful part of the world. If you don't like beautiful countryside and coastline, I mean, there's something wrong. This is gorgeous.
And this is looking really good.
Oh, it's come out of the gates today beautifully, and there is another chance.
This would be a good way to finish off the front side. That's as stress-free a birdie as you're going to get on this course. That is well done. Starting the backside with a 416-yard par 4 10th. Favor the right side to avoid the water, which is once again a factor. Looking for a strong finishing kick here on this Friday to get set up for the weekend, and that another good drive here. Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stephen.
He's got 118 yards, will get you to the front of the green, but it's 1-3-2 if you're going to go for the flag. Pin smack bang in the middle.
And that ball not wanting to cooperate, and it is into the hazard. So with a shake of the head, he'll take his drop, and now with a stroke added for the penalty, this becomes his 4th to the par 4. Little too aggressive right there, compounding the problems, Frank. He has a lot left for a double bogey.
At one stage, it looked like he was going to turn 3 shots into 2, but I think that's reversed now.
Good putt there to somehow come away with double bogey. And that's going to drop him to 2 under. Well, here it is, the longest hole on the golf course. The par 5 11th is 617 yards. You need to bash that tee ball and get all of that second shot. Who knows, maybe you can get home in 2. This one is all you can handle. And that, a good-looking shot there, well placed in the fairway. Now, from better than 300 yards out, a second to the par 5.
Good second shot. That last bounce, a little unlucky, but still that third shot sits up rather nicely into this par 5.
So that brushed in for par here at 11. And that's going to be good enough to keep him just inside the cut line here in round 2. Up next, the number 18 handicap hole at PGA West. 363-yard par 4 12. Left side of the fairway is well guarded by bunkers, so the right side is ideal. Yeah, that one going to chase down the fairway a little, and it'll wind up perfect. Little bit of an awkward distance for this, his second. Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
And this is when you just want to get down to the hole and let it trickle in.
Now the pace, absolutely perfect there. Down the slope, it's in for a birdie. And that could be an important one as he'll move a couple shots clear of the cut line. So for our featured golfer, Frankie, it is on to the weekend. Who knows, if you get out early on Saturday, try and post a number. EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the stadium course at PGA West, live coverage coming your way of round 3 of the season opening event, the American Express. You know, for many years, this was Bob Hope's tournament. He, of course, a great entertainer, and we're in for an entertaining weekend of golf. As you look at the leaderboard on this Saturday, on top is the South Korean Sung Jae Im. He's at 9 under. So let's get out to the course, already deep into the round as we head to the tee on the par 4 15th. Let's bring in a man who's been there, Nota Begay III, 4-time winner on the PGA Tour. Nota, our golfer in their first ever professional start, able to make the weekend, so you have to figure that was the goal coming into this debut event?
Well, some players make progress in big steps and others make it in smaller steps. Although not in contention initially, making it into the weekend is a step in the right direction and will help build confidence.
Play continuing here in this third round. Frank, we've been following this young golfer this week, their debut on the PGA Tour, and it has been a pretty solid showing so far, wouldn't you say?
I certainly would, Rich. Already beaten half the field. They didn't make the weekend, so that is a huge start in this career. And we both know, Rich, this is a long road on the PGA Tour, full of bumps and hollows. But at the moment, gravy train.
This is a really good par 5 here, the 16th at 600 yards. If you're able to avoid the bunker on the left side of that fairway, you'll have a good chance to get up either on the green or near the green. What you want to avoid, obviously, is that enormous bunker up by the green. If you do end up in there, you may have a problem getting out. No issues here. That is into the fairway. Now from way back, better than 300 yards, a second to the par 5. That is straight into the thick stuff. Gonna have to give this a pretty good thump. Well, gonna get a chance to try that again. Gotta fully commit to this one as he'll try again.
That is not good, but the good news, you get to do it again.
This gonna be equally as tough. Another try to get this up and out. More troubles. Not a great shot at all. Another attempt here to get this ball up and out. Well, hit the stroke limit on that one. Well, you know when a hole is nicknamed Alcatraz, it is oftentimes not the most pleasant experience. The 17th hole is only 168 yards, but we're looking at an island green, and we're looking at all sorts of trouble, and we're looking at the pressure ratcheting up late in the round. This one has your attention, and on this shot, you need to be almost perfect.
Now from the bunker.
Just a little splash out on this par 3.
Okay, not bad out of the sand, and that's what will remain, trying to grind out a par. Oh, man. Boy, it's been one of those days. You think the golf gods are against you. That one finished off for bogey here at 17. And he'll slide back now to 3 over par. We finish up our round at PGA West at the 439-yard par 4 18. Key here, avoiding the water running down the left side of the fairway. It is best to favor the right side, but you have to avoid the bunkers there as well. Oh, this could be trouble. Ooh. Wow, had some hope for just a second there. Thought maybe it would hang up and stay dry, but too bad. That one trickles into the water. Okay, so the drop taken, and that will set up what's going to be his third now to this par 4.
Ten-foot putt left.
Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And that's going to move him back to 4 over. Well, without a doubt, a disappointing Saturday for our featured golfer. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From sun-kissed La Quinta, California, live final round coverage of the season opening event on the PGA Tour, the American Express. Sunday in Coachella Valley, all these golfers in search of that first title of the new season. It'll be handed out later today as we look at the leaderboard for this final round. Cameron Young from Wake Forest is your leader. He's currently at 13 under. We'll head out to the action at the par 3, 13. So, Frank, the final round of this season opening event here at PGA West. You look at the performance of the golfer we've been following all week, and I think you'd have to say that just making this cut was an accomplishment, and it's kind of all gravy from here.
It is. It was really like a reconnaissance mission, wasn't it? See what it's like to play alongside the game's best. See where your game fits in, what are you going to improve. Do you really have a future out here? I think, come the end of this final round, the answer to a lot of those questions are just simply yes, you belong.
Okay, that'll mitigate things a little. It is still a double bogey, though, here at the par 3. And that's going to move him back to 2 over par. Once again at PGA West, we're looking at a hole that's not overly long. It'll tempt you, 389 yards. The key, keep it away from that bunker on the right side of the fairway. So you're favoring the left. If you get it where you're supposed to, then you can access the whole location. Birdie's a good possibility here. Yeah, for a short hole, sometimes driver can be too much, and that one races right through this 14 fairway. So our featured golfer wrapping up their first ever professional tournament, and it's been a good one. Nota Begay III is with us, and Nota, I'm curious of what you recall, what you learned from your first professional start. You went on to win 4 times.
Well, playing in that first PGA Tour event, there's so many unexpected things, and to come out, make the cut, get your feet wet, learn what it's going to take to compete at this level is a tremendous amount of benefit as you move forward and you refine your approach.
Oh, no problems at all. The pace perfect. It is in for birdie. And he's able to get it back to 1 over. As we arrive at 15 and head back toward the clubhouse, we come to the hole they call Turning Home, a 468-yard par 4. And the second hardest hole at PGA West. Have to be straight off the tee as there are bunkers on both sides of the fairway. And that is going to come to rest squarely in the center of the fairway. Second shot coming up. Let's check in for the first time with Nota Begay III.
159 yards left to the hole, sitting in the front left hole location.
Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. But those are the shots that turn what you'd like to be a leisurely stroll out on the golf course into a day of hard work.
Yeah, what could have been a tap-in is now going to be a grind.
Not quite online, and that'll drift a couple feet by. Okay, that's going to be finished off for his bogey, and that won't help the cause one bit. We now come to the 600-yard par 5 16th. Avoid the bunker on the left side of the fairway off the tee, and beware of the massive green side bunker on your approach. Once in there, it's a chore to get out. Just what you want at this point in the round. You're trying to find a rhythm, hit fairways, hit the middle of the club face. That's what they did right there. And that is going to get into one of the toughest bunkers you'll find. If you need a ladder to get in, you know it's deep. I don't wish this shot on anyone, this from way below the green. A dead-on look here for birdie. That a poor roll there. That is down for a birdie here at 16. And he will definitely not say no to that. Arriving now at Alcatraz, the famous 17th hole at PGA West. Island green, reminiscent of Sawgrass, 168-yard par 3. It is most definitely a knee knocker. Okay, that one's dancing. Birdie putt coming up, and we go to Iona Stephen.
Now this will get a little bit of a boost as it gets down the slope, but more importantly, it's going to work its way from left to right.
Yes, and good playing here toward the end of the round. Birdie's at 16 and 17, and he's got it back to even par. Finishing up here at PGA West with a 439-yard par 4 18. Yet again, we're trying to avoid the water. That runs down the left side of the fairway. If you keep it down the right side, well, then you'll have a chance to maybe get out of here, finish up the round with a birdie 3. That is a great number on this finishing hole. It all looks so simple when you're going good, doesn't it? And that is yet another solid drive. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
This is a 16-footer. That's a nice one there, a long one for his par here at 18. And that will be a great final round score of 68. So Frank, for our featured golfer, they came roaring out on this Sunday. It won't be enough to place them too high on the leaderboard, but a terrific final round nonetheless.
Certainly, and I want to re-emphasize what you were saying though, Rich. Sunday, it's so important because when you can close, and irrespective of the position they finish, but you're learning to close. That was the key today.
So that'll do it for us. For Frank Nobilo, Nota Begay, EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From a stunning setting, Torrey Pines Golf Course in Southern California, it's opening round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. Situated high on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean, what a golf course, Torrey Pines. What a weekend we should have in store as we look at the leaderboard here in round one. Your leader is Japan's Hideki Matsuyama. He's on the move early at 5 under par. So let's get out to the course as we join the action on the tee at the par 5 13th hole. Here at Torrey Pines, Frank, this Farmers Insurance Open, and our featured golfer here coming off a pretty good showing out at the American Express last week. First cut made, first paycheck as a professional. What would you take from a performance like that?
Well, you just nailed it, Rich. The fact that you get that check, or at least it gets deposited in your account, that's what professional sports is about, right? Earning money. Now you go to a big golf course like Torrey Pines and a chance to do it again, play for another big purse. And this field, too, is stacked. So a good chance to weigh your abilities up once again with the world's best.
Nothing to it. Very well judged there.
Just 5 feet left.
Good putt there, though it is a bogey here at par 5. He is very quickly down to 2 over par. And we're here, of course, at Torrey Pines, the South Course. Long history of this event in San Diego, dating back to 1952. It's been here at Torrey since 1968. A lot of great winners. Frank, you've played the course a number of times. Overall, what are the things that a young golfer like this needs to keep in mind this week?
You have to remind yourself it's just a plain, hard, straight-up golf course. And plus, it's going to play every inch of its length because of the marine layer that often comes in. So you have that very dense air. We're obviously at sea level. And plus the Poana greens, you're going to miss the odd short putt. You can't let that get to you. You look around the leaderboard, you don't see the same 60-nothings that we saw the week before. That's a bit of a head turner, really. That was a green light situation from that distance, and far from the best shot I've seen today.
Let's bring in Nota Begay, the third man who once shot 59 on the Korn Ferry Tour, went on to win 4 big tournaments on the PGA Tour. Nota, you remember what it's like to just sort of get your professional career started. Our featured player is coming off what you'd have to say was a promising debut last week, made the cut, first professional paycheck. So what kind of a building experience is that?
Well, success on the PGA Tour is a building process, and some players experience that success early. Others have to build it gradually. Making the cut, posting 72 holes, getting that experience under your belt is what allows you to continue to create momentum as you advance deeper into the season.
That will do just fine. In the fairway, it's lying nicely, and 180 yards left. And that's not exactly ideal. Far from a tap-in for his par.
You're being too kind. That's not at all ideal.
Not that time. Pretty good effort, but it'll wander a couple of feet by. Okay, a bogey here at the 15th. And just like that, he'll fall to 3 over par. So now to the final par 3 here at Torrey Pines South. It is the 16th, 227 yards, good hole with those 3 bunkers protecting the green. There is that slight opening in the front. It would take an outstanding shot to give yourself a chance to make a birdie. Yeah, even with the uphill slope, it's just hard to get a ball to stop on this green from that far back, and that'll run off long and into the rough. Nope. Nope. Rushed it. Okay, finished off there for double bogey. And he'll fall back now to 5 over par. Next up, the penultimate hole at Torrey Pines, 443-yard par 4. Have to avoid the fairway bunker, 275 yards down that right side.
It's so hard to bounce back after a huge score, especially when you're still reeling from it. But try and pull the screws back in the head there. Just take a little breath, maybe 2. Decent swing, don't try and kill it. Exactly like that. Really good shot.
Not sure what happened there. Wrong club selection, poor execution. Regardless, a lot of meat still on that bone.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
No problems there. That's par here at 17. And he's going to stay at +5. This 18th hole is not overly long, 570 yards, a par 5, and it's straight. Should be able to get home in 2, but the key is you have to keep it in the fairway. If you hit it in that rough, you're more than likely going to lay up short of that pond and try to make birdie the conventional way. But if you hit it in the fairway, good opportunity to go for it in 2 and finish your round with an eagle. Yeah, great shot at a hole where we have seen some great moments by great players through the years. Now, wouldn't this be something to cap the round? A long look at a closing eagle. Nah, that's a little timid, maybe a shake of the head there. That needed a bit more. A straightforward look here for birdie. Yeah, it's a birdie at the last. And that will conclude an opening round 76. For the golfer we had our eye on, no other way to say it, Frank, just not a real good day out there.
It could be a short week, Rich. We can complain.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From La Jolla, California, just north of San Diego, live second-round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. So much to behold here at Torrey Pines. The ocean, the cliffs, the trees, the green grass, the blue sky, maybe even a paraglider or two as we check out the Friday leaderboard. Sam Burns is on top. He's at 9 under. So let's get out to the course, already deep into the round as we head to the tee on the par 4 15th. That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. We turn to Nota Begay III for this look at birdie.
And these are the putts he hasn't been able to do much with all day. This doesn't have a whole lot of movement to it, and he could surely use it.
That one just going to sneak on by.
Needs a little bit more pace and a little more borrow.
Okay, a solid par here at the 15th. And he'll remain right where he is. Coming down the home stretch here at Torrey Pines, 227-yard par 3 16th. 3 bunkers protecting the green, but there is an opening in the front. Boy, just far too strong with a tee shot there, and this winds up flying the green. Looking back up from behind the green, a second to this par 3. And the computer dials this one up at 26 feet. Okay, didn't quite get it there, but that's a decent effort. Oh, no. Okay, this par 3 shows its teeth. It is a double bogey. He'll slide a bit further here to 7 over par. Crucial 17th hole here at Torrey Pines, 443-yard par 4. Louis Oosthuizen hit it left here at the 2021 U.S. Open in the final round, and he paid the price. He did not win that major.
It's so hard to bounce back after a huge score, especially when you're still reeling from it. But try and pull the screws back in the head there. Just take a little breath, maybe 2. Decent swing. Don't try and kill it. Exactly like that. Really good shot.
This one has a chance to be close.
I know it's the second shot golf course, but what an iron shot. I don't care. That's the first, the last. That's a great shot.
Well, next week the California swing continues. We head up the coast to Pebble Beach. There's nothing like it. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yeah, it started all those years ago with all the Hollywood stars, the great Bing Crosby. It used to be called the Clam Bake, but look what it's turned into now. Now golfers are the stars. And if you want to be part of this, there's no better place. Come to Pebble Beach.
Here we are at the finishing hole at Torrey Pines, 570-yard 18th. Idyllic par 5, fairly straight the whole way, but that pond they call Devlin's Billabong always makes going for the green into a risky proposition. And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. Oh, this doesn't look promising. Nope, that just did not look right from the start, and that ball is into the hazard. So with a penalty stroke added in, now lying 3, readying for shot number 4.
For such a short chip shot, now a long putt for par.
Boy, that was a good stroke. That definitely threatened the hole, but just did not want to go in. Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And that's going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit. So a disappointing end to the tournament for our featured golfer heading home following these two.
Last tournament for strong, very strong.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Monterey Peninsula, live opening round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Blue skies on top of blue waters, right next to one of the prettiest pieces of green grass on this good earth. As we check out the leaderboard here in round one. The Pepperdine man, Sahith Theegala, is your leader. He's on the move early at 5 under par. So let's get out to the course as we pick up the action starting at the par 4 11.
Good approach shot. Birdie putt coming up. Approach shot just a little right, little short.
Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
Well, and he's had great conversion on putts like this. Even when he's not close to the hole, he's left himself with very makeable opportunities.
Got it there, but not quite on target.
Yeah, I think he's going to be very disappointed that he never gave that a chance to get to the hole.
So that brushed in for par here at 11, and he'll stay at 2 under. Frank, this whole area of the country, Monterey, Carmel, 17-mile drive, just such a stunning setting for golf. We're just taking a nice drive with the emerald green fairway set against the ocean blue. It's just ideal. But talk to me about playing the course, Pebble Beach. What should a young golfer like this keep in mind when teeing it up for the first time as a professional?
Rich, it's the polar opposite of the drive-in, where you decompress and look at the views. Because once you get onto that first tee at Pebble, it's a wonderful golf course designed by Jack Neville. You're going to realize that no two holes look the same. I mean, that's stating the obvious there, but side hill lies when you play it towards the Pacific. And then you sort of beat your way around the golf course. The beautiful downhill par 3/7. I know it's talked about and it's photographed, but that's where you start scratching your head and like, do I have the right club? And that's a feeling you get at Pebble so often around this golf course. But I mentioned 7, so I've got to mention 8, 9, and 10. In my opinion, they're the 3 best par 4s in a row in any golf course I've ever seen. I mean, they're beautiful driving holes and iron play, but, you know, Pebble's about the experience, but it's also about the legacy that this golf course has for America. So to compete at Pebble is one thing. To play well at Pebble, well, that's another thing as well.
Well, this par 4 13th hole doesn't show up on a lot of postcards the way, say, the 8th hole would. But, Frank, this is a legitimate and challenging par 4, isn't it?
It certainly is, Rich. 400 yards, but it plays longer than that by virtue of being uphill. But the addition of those 3 bunkers in on the right side have certainly shrunk the width of this fairway. Plus, it still tips from the right side to the left side. And you've got an uphill second shot. So, you know, I've seen everything here. 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, you name it. Are you really going to take that seriously? That ball wasn't even going to land on the green, but it's finished up fine.
An outside look here for birdie. What a putt. Just missed, Frank. That's cruel. Okay, safely in for par here at 13. And he'll remain at 1 under par. Well, in the world of professional golf, there are very few legitimate 3-shot par 5s left. This 582-yard par 5 14th at Pebble Beach is one of those holes. It is all you want. Yeah, that's a nice swing, and the result is going to be a tee shot that is set up just fine. I'm not sure he got every bit of that 3-wood trying to get home to this par 5 and 2, but still in the ball game for a birdie. Yep, played that nicely. That'll work out just fine. Right around 6 feet here for birdie. That's how you play this 14th hole. That's in for birdie. Our featured golfer in a good position, you'd have to say. Just 3 shots off the pace after round 1.
Just got to keep the leaders in check, though. Can't afford to get...
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From beautiful Pebble Beach, California, it's live second-round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Well, let's face it, Mother Nature's just showing off this week. Pebble Beach, one of the crown jewels of American sport in all its glory. As we look at the Friday leaderboard, your leader is Wake Forest's Will Zalatoris. He's currently at 8 under. So out to the action we go as we catch up with our golfer on the tee at the par 4 13th. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one. Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
I just a bit, and it stayed out wide left of the hole. Okay, that one finished off. It is a bogey here at unlucky number 13. And that's going to drop him back to 4 under par.
Frank, the 14th hole, par 5, it is one of the most difficult par 5s in championship golf, isn't it?
It certainly is, Rich. Not just because of the length of the hole, 570 plus yards, but reachable only really by the longest hitters in the right conditions. But it's the third shot. I've got to rank the third shot as probably the hardest short wedge shot, right up there with the 15th hole at Augusta.
Going to take a big poke to get there, but a chance with his second to the par 5. Well, just a good solid shot right there with that 3-wood, Frank.
It's an aggressive layup, really, trying to force that 3-wood down and get it as close as possible to the green. That's 2 good shots if you can't reach the par 5.
No issues there. It is a par here at 14. And he'll remain at 4 under. Next up, the 393-yard par 4 15. Tee shot in the fairway gives the players an excellent shot at birdie, but be careful losing it right onto that 17-mile drive. Looking for a strong finishing kick here on this Friday to get set up for the weekend, and that another good drive here. We'll remind you that coming up next week, we move from the serenity of the Pacific Ocean here at Pebble Beach to a scene that will be anything but calm. That is the Waste Management Phoenix Open down at TPC Scottsdale. Frank, I always think different venues, sort of different soundtracks. Pebble is crashing waves with Argyle sweaters. The Waste Management Phoenix Open, it's like a nightclub in Prague at about 2 in the morning.
And I've been to Prague too, yeah. Except Prague doesn't have the 700,000 people. It's the greatest gate. Some say the greatest show on grass. It really is. That 16th hole, I'll tell you just one quick little story. Tom Watson, in his heyday with the late Bruce Edwards on the bag, it was the one hole he changed his routine. He would get Bruce to go ahead to the tee, all those people around, and he'd just say, give me the club and hit it. That was the one time he broke tradition. It's absolute frenzy at Scottsdale.
We now begin one of the most beautiful stretches of finishing holes all of golf, the March to the Sea at Pebble Beach, starting with a 400-yard par 4 16. The key here, carry the island bunker.
They've all been going straight up until that one. A little bit of a test coming up.
Ball appears to be sitting up here in the rough at the 16th hole. Decent lie, but you just won't be able to get it to spin. See what he can do now with this, his second shot. Now, gonna have to try and get this out and let it run. Okay, that should be inside of 10 feet, not too bad. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. That's going to leak out to the right and trickle away. Not the right read there. Okay, that aim for a bogey at 16. And he's going to slide backwards to 3 under par.
Well, here we are, 17th hole, and this is where you can make your mark on the sport. Frank, so much history at this par 3.
It's just a great hole too, Rich. You know, that hourglass-shaped green on the angle. But you're right when you talk about history. You go back to 1972, and this hole played into the breeze. It was a 1-iron for Jack Nicklaus. Said one of the greatest shots he ever hit. Actually hit the flagstick, nearly went in. And, of course, one of my favorites is 1982. Tom Watson had missed this green to the left, and the late Bruce Edwards was his caddy, and they were looking for options because they were in such a perilous situation with the US Open on the line. And Watson said, well, what about if I just hole it? And if you look really closely at the footage, as Watson starts to run across the green, he's pointing his finger back at Bruce and saying, I told you so. And then just a few years ago too, Gary Woodland hit a chip it on this green and made 3.
Well, you're not just playing the 18th hole at Pebble Beach, are you? You're taking a moment to soak it all in. Stand on that tee box, look out at the Pacific Ocean, think about what's happened here, who's played this hole, who's made history here, and then you let it rip. No problems there. That's going to wind up safely in the fairway. Well, Frank, it is a pleasant walk under any circumstances, but how good is it when you've knocked it on in 2 here at the 18th at Pebble Beach?
It's a lot better than picking one out of the Pacific Ocean, Rich. That was just a great shot. And finally, you can exhale. The job is nearly finished.
That would have been a good one to convert on. Instead, that'll be left for birdie. Okay, it's a nice finish, a birdie at 18. And that will be a touch worse than round 1. It is a second round, 71. So for our featured golfer, Frank, it is on to the weekend. Who knows if you get out early on Saturday, try. EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From breathtaking Pebble Beach, California, it's live third-round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Beautiful weather here in this early February fixture for golf fans, and if you're locked in winter's vice grip, well, this represents a bit of hope on the horizon as we check the leaderboard. Your leader is Wake Forest's Will Zalatoris. He currently sits at 12 under par. So let's get you out to the action on the turn as we head to the tee at the par 4 10th. So he should be able to get a full club on this, but the ball below his feet for his second. And that ball couldn't quite get through unscathed. It's going to be knocked down by the leaves and wind up in the heavy stuff. And that is not the spot to be. Time to just pick up and move on to the next hole.
Well, this is where Pebble Beach changes significantly. We're going away from the Pacific Ocean now, up the hill toward the forest. Frank, what do you think of the 11th hole?
Well, it's tricky, Rich. Number one, because it's blind, as you've detailed, but uphill and it's sea level, so that tee shot's not going to go that far. There is a run out down that left side, just inside the tree line there. That's about 308 yards, but you're not going to go that far. So really, you have to respect this hole. Just hit a fairway finder.
Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. He'll finish that one off with no problem. It's in for par, and he'll stay at 5 under. This 12th hole certainly not as famous as some of the other par 3s here at Pebble Beach, like number 7 or 17. But 12's a good one at 202 yards. Ideally, you want to work this right to left, just a baby draw, and try to get it to land softly because the green tends to be really firm. A little too much spice on that one. That flies the green, and he'll be chipping out of the rough. A chance maybe to just throw something up high for his second. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Didn't trust the read there, and that's going to cost him. So a tough hole, and it's in for bogey at 12. And that won't help the cause one bit. Here we are at Pebble's 13th 401-yard par 4 that some consider a bit of a breather on the course. Birdie is definitely a possibility here. The 13th here at Pebble Beach is sort of a forgotten hole. It's only 401 yards of par 4, but I promise you'll remember it if you make a birdie here, and you'll have a good chance if you put it in the correct position off the tee. Second shot coming up. Let's bring in Iona Stephen.
139 the number to the flagstick today. Wind coming from behind, so you'll need to be careful where you land it.
Well, he's overshot the green here.
Fire the caddy, Rich. Seriously. Any other club other than that one.
$18-footer. Well read. That's in for a bogey 5. And he's going to fall to 6 under par. So for our featured golfer, some good playing and some favorable scoring conditions here on this Saturday. But they'll look up at that leaderboard and see
Final round. Have a good one.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From spectacular Pebble Beach, California, final round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Tell you what, we have seen some tremendous golf this week, outdone only by the incredible beauty that is the coastline of the Monterey Peninsula. As we check the Sunday leaderboard, your leader is Wake Forest's Will Zalatoris. He's at 15 under. So let's get out to the course, already deep into the round as we head to the tee on the par 4 15th. Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. 13 feet away. Nope. Okay, a solid par here at the 15th, and he'll remain at 6 under par.
Par 4, 16th hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee?
You don't need driver here for a start, Rich. It's a long iron or even, a fairway wood. Now, you see that big gaping bunker in the middle of the fairway? That's not really in play. 205 yards gets over that. But that's the line. If you look closely up the right there, those two bunkers, you just see a little sliver of the bunker, the left of the two on the right. That's sort of a no-no. So anything slightly left of that runs out about sort of 280 yards, that is prime.
Well, it just comes up a little shy of the flag, but all in all, a good shot out of that rough.
We welcome in Iona Stephen. This, a putt for birdie.
Yeah, and there is a big break here from right to left, and we're going back up the slope, but just ever so slightly, so you have to prioritize that line.
Yeah, that's good pace. Just a little offline, but not too bad from that far away. Okay, that'll be a par here at 16. And he'll stay right where he is. From Jack at the 1972 U.S. Open to Tom Watson, the same championship, 1982. A 182-yard par 3 penultimate hole at Pebble Beach has provided historical drama time after time. That one safely on the putting surface. The pace absolutely perfect there. Down the slope, it's in for a birdie. And that's going to get him to 1 under for the round and 7 under now for the tournament. Well, here we are now at arguably the greatest finishing hole in golf. 536-yard par 5. Pacific Ocean, massive fairway bunker stretching more than 100 yards on the left, and cypress trees. Just a few of the things you need to contend with. Yeah, good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway.
Oh, such a sweet 3-wood. Actually, too good, if anything. It just flew through the air. And a little unlucky that first bounce. That was like rock hard.
Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for his par here at 18. And that will make this a final round, 71. So, Frank, this a solid week of golf, you'd have to say. They stuck around on the outskirts of contention, and ultimately it'll be a top 20 finish.
I think it's a good chance to have a little deep dive into the stats. Driving accuracy, is it not long enough? Maybe a few greens there and here and there missed. I mean, that's how you get a little bit better. It's a good time to have a little look back.